welcome back to Movie Trailer Reviews on the MTR Network. This is your host, Kriss and Phenom here. And today we are here to review the film a lot of us have been waiting for, It. A group of bullied kids band together when a monster taking the appearance of a clown begins to hunt children. Obviously, this is based off of the Stephen King novel It, and they did the TV movie, which was like, that movie was like 4 hours long. They broke it into two parts, I think. That came out when that movie came out in 82, right?
1990.
It was 1990? Oh, okay, shit. For some reason I thought it originally came out in 82, but not 1990. So all right, yeah. There's a lot to talk about with the film. You know, I wrote my review for it already, right? I did not know that the director for this was Andy Muschietti. I didn't know he was also the guy who did Mama.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, he does a pretty good job with kids in horror films, because those kids were not annoying to me.
Yeah, I hated the way Mama ended, but as a whole, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, the ending felt like it was kind of like it was rushed, but it's still it's a film that came out in 2013. It's a very underrated horror film. Like, it was one of those, like, I'll take more of those and less of some of the other shit we get. Like, there was still some stuff there, and they gave him it, and spoiler alert, it's really good.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm a It fanatic at this point. I watched a 90s film as a kid. I owned it on DVD. I still have the original DVD that I owned it on. It is like open flip book DVD type shit. I used to watch it all the time with my pops as a kid. He still hails it as a great film. I tried to tell him that as an adult, it's actually kind of bad, but I understand for the time period,
right?
It being a TV movie, I guess they did it in a 4-part series on television, even though it's really 2 parts.
Right.
For that time period, it made a huge impact on people, not just fans. I mean, look how long it lasted. With the fanfare that goes on for that film is just unremarkable. So when this was announced that they were doing it, my first thing was, one, you're gonna have to find somebody who is better than Tim Reed. I mean, not Tim Reed, and the guy who originally played Pennywise, Tim Curry.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to find somebody who does Pennywise better than Tim Curry, and it's gonna have to be dark. Like, it's gonna have to be really fucking dark, and you can't do what they've been doing with these damn horror films lately, where they just cheaply throw together some shit and give you some jump scares, and you're supposed to be satisfied. Like, no, it is a full product. It is a very deep story, and you can make a whole film, not just a horror film. Like, I feel like sometimes horror films just get a pass for being horror films. If you go see them and you're scared, they win. It's kind of like with comedies.
Yeah.
Comedies didn't have to be complete stories until, like, Judd Apatow and shit showed up and started making these really deep story-driven comedies. So with this film, I'm looking at it and I'm going, they need to tell the story about it. Like, they really do. They don't need to just make it this fucking clown that keeps popping up and scaring the shit out of some kids who become adults and scaring the shit out of the adults. And, you know, if you've seen the original, the whole, it's a big spider, like shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, they really needed to invest in the actual story surrounding this town, this creature, these kids, and what it all really means.
Well, that's the thing,
right?
about horror films. Like you said, they're I feel like, and I read this in my review, like, horror films, they usually, they have to be scary. Like, fuck what you heard. Horror film needs to have some kind of scares, even if it's a horror comedy. It needs to have something that it has to play on that kind of fear. It needs to have a complete story. It needs to have relatable, likable characters. You have to have those three things to be a truly good or great horror film. And most times when you get a horror film, even some of the films that I like, you get 2 of those 3. You won't get all 3. You'll get 2 of the 3, maybe 1.5, and you're just like, fuck it, I'll allow it. Because like you said, like comedy, horror's one of the films where you can literally be a lazy ass filmmaker. You can be a lazy ass filmmaker, slap something together, call it a horror film, and it's okay. Like you can do that. And thankfully, this is not one of those films.
No, this film, this really is like when you walk into it, and a lot of people are just gonna stick in the theater because it's it. Like there are people who are right now going to see it in IMAX, and God bless y'all because
it's in IMAX.
This clown takes up the whole screen at one point. They're gonna be blown the fuck away. But
wait, you can get this in IMAX?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Oh, nigga, that's where.
Yeah, IMAX tickets.
Oh, that's where me and Shanty are going this weekend. I'm seeing it again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we going to IMAX then?
Oh yeah, I was gonna go tonight until you said you wanted to do the review at this time. I was like, oh well, I'll do this review and then I'll pick another day to go in IMAX.
Oh yeah, nigga, we doing IMAX.
Oh yeah, but so those who didn't know, now you know IMAX. But you walk into this film, and I think for me, like I did the Audible book for this. And it's like 40 plus hours of Audible. That's really long. Okay. For people who don't normally Audible, like a typical Audible book is 5 to 8 hours. When you get into something that's got lore behind it, like I guess like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones, then you start getting into the 20 plus hour books. And that's a really long time. It is 40 fucking hours. It took me a full month. And I mean, I was listening to this religiously to get through this. And so when I walk into this film, I'm thinking, okay, the opening of this film is pretty much where I'm either going to be in or I'm going to be like, yes. I just hope it doesn't get any worse than this. And this isn't a spoiler. When they kill Bill Denbrough's brother in the beginning of this fucking movie.
When they kill Georgie, you're in.
When they kill Georgie, you have to be in. Like I don't understand how you can't.
I think I looked over like when they, because it is an attack. It is a legit attack, and I have not seen them really truly attack and maim a kid in a horror film in a long fucking time. And there's a moment in this film when I looked over at like at the beginning, I'm like, so this is what we're doing, huh? Oh, this is gonna be like I'm dead ass. We are not lying. The beginning of this film, when the attack happens, you're like, fuck. It's gonna be a long 2 hours and 15 minutes, but in a good way. You're like,
oh, an amazing way.
And here's the thing: if you do not do scary films, and if you're not only are you gonna leave the theater, you are never gonna go back to that theater because you're gonna be haunted for the rest of your fucking life. All right.
What they did to Georgie, and the most beautiful part of it is they did it very, very close to the way it's described in a book, which is you're either in or you're out. The opening to it in the book is a very graphic description of what the fuck happens to Georgie in a very monotonely read voice. Like it's not happening the way it's fucking happening. And for them to give it visuals, it was just beautiful. And in that sense, they kind of showed the tone of this town, Derry, which is really fucking important to this character, to this menacing thing that haunts this fucking town. And I like that they didn't really like give you a huge amount of background on all these characters, right? They have how many kids? They have 7 kids to work with in the Losers Club. They have Bill, Ben, Beverly, Eddie, Richie, Mike, and Stanley. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, kids to work with. They don't have time in 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever to give you the background of all these characters. Like, if you want that, go read the fucking book, okay?
But they do a good, they do a damn good job of giving you what you need and just enough.
Everything.
You get everything you need to understand. And I gotta say, like, the other thing that makes or breaks this film, besides just the opening of the film, the other thing that's gonna let you make and break the film is, particularly the way they're breaking this out. This is the entire. So I think the original, they jump back and forth, right? They jump back and forth between flashbacks of what happened with the kids in the 60s and the adults in the 80s.
In the original, it opens up with them like getting a phone call of what happened, and I think it's from Tim Reed to the guy that plays Bill Denbrough,
right?
And he's like, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "Remember who?" And as he starts to remember, that's when they do the flashback to when they're kids.
Right.
And the whole first film, DVD or whatever, is about the kids.
Okay.
Right.
So that's what this is. This entire thing is about the kids. And so again, if you're going to make this film work, these kids need to be likable. You have to get with these kids. And listen, I'm not a kids person, but damn it, these kids work. Like this is if you take out the horror aspect of this, you take out the fact that you have Pennywise there. This is literally like, you know, you have a bunch of kids, a bunch of losers, misfits that get together for a summer and hang out. It's the Goonies. It's fucking, you know, what they do in it's Stranger Things.
It's Evil Sandlot.
Yeah, it's Sandlot. It's Stranger Things. You got one of the kids from Stranger Things in here. Like it's that. And so what makes it work is they make that part work, and there's so much to focus on there. Like the kid who plays Richie, and then the kid who plays
Wolfhard.
Yeah, Wolf, and he's in Stranger Things, right? Yeah. That's a kid from Stranger
Things. He's the lead in Stranger Things.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes sense because he's not the lead here, but between him and the kid that plays, I think it's Jack Grazer who plays Eddie, they bring the humor because Eddie is a hypochondriac, and fucking Richie just keeps cracking these inappropriate jokes. But they're like said like the mama jokes, like the you know what are you doing? I was doing your like it. They are so inappropriately timed sometimes, but they're so fucking funny. And he's always ribbing on people, and the things he's like, it is hilarious, and it draws you in. It makes you actually care about these characters. Like you're like, damn, I don't want anything to happen to them.
Like a kid would deliver it. That's what I thought was awesome.
Oh, the timing is great. Yeah,
crude ass jokes like a kid his age would deliver them, which makes it even more funny when you hear him do that shit.
Yeah, and then the other kids are like, God damn it! Like they're like, God damn it, not again! Shut the fuck up!
I went right into Richie.
I don't want to do this. God, Richie, stop talking right now.
Yeah,
like
they did Richie very well.
Yeah,
the kid that played Bill Denbrough was dude from Book of Henry, and I think he did the stuttering as well as you can do stuttering in a film when you don't stutter for real in real life.
Yeah,
I think they captured this kid who's meant to be a leader, but is broken from the death of his brother and really is on this selfish journey to find out what the fuck happened because he just can't let it go. Like that's the way he's dealing with his PTSD. He is trying to find out what happened to this kid to the point where his parents can't even try to move forward because, you know, he's constantly coming to them with, oh, I think I know what happened, or I think I know where Georgie is, you know, and they're kind of like, no, Georgie's dead. And he's like, I don't believe that. So you have to deal with this other kid. He has that sense. I think the kid that they cast to play Ben was a really good casting, this Jeremy Ray Taylor kid.
Yeah.
And definitely for sure, the fucking kid that they had cast as Henry Bowers nailed that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck Nicholas Hamilton.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. He's fucking awful.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He is a piece of shit, man. And in the book, he is a piece of shit. Like they have some of the graphic shit that he does to these kids in this movie, and I didn't think they were gonna put it in there. And when I saw that they were, I was like, oh my God, I'm in fucking love with this movie right now.
Yeah, they go there with the film. And this is, again, all that we're talking about, this is even before you get to Pennywise or any of the scares, which again goes to show you the care they put into. Because again, yeah, you can almost say they cheat because again they haven't. You have you have a book, you have a novel, you also have a previous TV movie. You have those things to take from, but we've seen before where you have those things and people still fuck up the movie. But they really focus on making everything around Pennywise and the scares matter. Like when there are scenes with just the kids and they're not talking about any of this stuff, you're like, damn, you guys are just getting picked on. Like, fuck. Like there's a scene in there where they stand up to Henry and you're like, yeah, God, thank you, because fuck him. He's a fucking little asshole. You know, it's just. There's so much in this film that they built around that made it a complete film and a complete story. And then you add in, you know, the horrifying shit. Then you get to the horrifying shit. And you're just
it's a whole different film at this point. Like it really is two films mashed together. It's just horrific.
Well, no, it's like you said, you take Sandlot and add a fucking monster. Take the Goonies and add a legit monster. Like, then you get something fucking totally horrifying. You're like, yeah,
Bruh, it's a whole nother film when you start looking at what Bill Skarsgård is doing on camera in this goddamn film with his voice,
yeah.
with his mannerisms, with his goofiness. Like, it's just, he is the goofiest fucking troll I've ever seen until he opens his goddamn mouth, and then all hell breaks loose. And they just had so many scenes that captured why I think people are scared as hell of clowns.
Yeah.
Because clowns don't make any goddamn sense. They just the whole makeup, no pun intended, of clowns makes no fucking sense. And it uses that to its advantage to just be a creepy, mind fucking, entity that they just cannot fucking escape. The way he like the way Beverly is tormented by him, the way he torments Mike, the shit that he does when he's finally revealed to Richie, like all of those scenes have Easter eggs in them, and they have their own air of new.
Oh, and
that I think film did very well. Like it made sure that you felt like you were watching it film, but it also made sure that there is a lot of ways that you cannot compare this film to the original
absolutely no. Oh no.
Project. Like,
it's a completely different. Yeah.
It's so different.
They what they do with Stanley, where it's like I don't even want to spoil it, but how what Stanley is afraid of and tortured by is fucking horrifying. Like that was actually worse to me than Pennywise. I was like, yeah, no, you guys can keep that shit. Whatever that shit is supposed to be, keep that shit over there, because I don't want to see that shit no more. And there's a scene that something happens to him later on. You're like, yeah, no, this is like I think that's the other thing too. Well, that's the other thing too. It's like
kids, bro.
Right, like that's the thing that you don't really see. Even in again, this is an R-rated film, but even in other R-rated films, you don't usually see the kids attacked. The kids in this film are attacked, and I think that's between that and then you gotta give them credit for this. Just also the way they shoot some of these scenes and the way that they get the camera right up in the scare, but it doesn't really make it a jump scare. It's like a legit earned creepiness to this film, and the way they shoot some things and the way that they position the camera. Like it's gonna. I said this in my review. It's almost like they put you into the scene like a 3D film is supposed to do it, but it's not 3D. Like I felt like you feel way more involved. You feel way more intimate into these scenes than I've seen in any other 3D movie I've seen. Like you feel like you're in there. And you're like, yeah, I need to get out of here. There
are points in this film where you laugh at Pennywise, and you're not supposed to be laughing at the shit he's doing, but he does shit that makes you laugh. Like the way he there's a scene specifically, and everybody's seen it in the trailer. It's where Bill Denbrough goes down into the cellar or the basement, and it's covered in water, and he sees Georgie, and Georgie starts fucking spazzing, saying, "You'll float too," and you see Pennywise come out the water, and he just full rushes Bill, right? And you're like, holy shit. At the end of that scene, you will bust out laughing because Pennywise, at the end of the day, is a goddamn clown. He's an evil motherfucking clown, but he does like the way he walks, the way he comes out of things, like the way he enters scenes to scare these kids is just so circus. Man, I was like blown at how well Bill Skarsgård did this character, and it's not CGI that they're using to sell this. It's not dark, ominous feel that they use to sell this. It is him in that fucking makeup selling this character. They just add effects to make it even worse of how good he is at selling Pennywise as this thing that you can try as hard as you want to get away from, but motherfucker, you'll float too. Like it's just that goddamn good. Yeah. And I thought it was fucking amazing. Like every time Pennywise came on screen, I was giddy. Like I had the biggest fucking grin on my face every time he was on screen. He is killing people, and I'm on screen. I'm dying laughing
Yeah,
at his character.
and you see a lot of them, but it's not. It's still not overused. Like I was seeing
it's a
some.
whole
I saw a whack ass review. It was like they use too. They go too cheap. They show them too much. Fuck you. No. I've seen. No. I've seen. This is how you do it. This is how you can show the monster. This is actually what we've been wanting from modern horror films, to be able to show your monster consistently, but not cheapen it. And that's what this film does. It doesn't cheap. Every time you see him, you're like, he's horrifying. Every time he's on the screen, you're like, damn. And you still get everything else. Like,
well, it's because he pops up at the most like fucked up times.
Right.
These kids are already the Losers Club. The name is for a reason. They're already being tortured and chased around town. They're not if they're not being tortured by Henry and his goons, they're being tortured by the actual adults in the town who are just as much assholes as Henry fucking Bauer and his clan are. Like, and all of that is for a reason. That whole ambiance of the town is for a reason. And then when they finally escape a beating or a torturing or a possible rape, Pennywise pops up. And it's like, God damn, these kids can't get a fucking breather from anything in this horrific ass town. And he pops up as if he's enlightenment or if he's there to cheer them up. But you know that's not why he's there. Like, they'll get almost ran over by a car in this movie, and when they roll up onto their feet and they're breathing heavily and you can see dread on their face, you start to hear clown music. And balloons appear and cakes appear and like people are cheering and it's like, yay! And then Pennywise starts talking and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's just
things just got worse.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, and we kind of mentioned it before, and this is the thing that I think a lot of people are saying too, and it's so surprising. The film's also funny. I mean, not in just the thing we were talking about with Pennywise stuff like that. Like there's legit moments, like I said, the character Richie is hilarious. Eddie being the hypochondriac, that's funny too. But there are things like there's a New Kids in the Block little gag they run that comes out of nowhere and is you're like when it pays off later on, you're gonna be like, come on, dog, come on, like
it's so good though.
It's so good.
Which I'm curious to see how they shoot it later. Like when they do get to them being adults, which would means if we're talking about them 27 years later,
current years. Yeah, it's gonna be 2017,
like 2015.
Yeah,
right.
2015, 2017. It's gonna be current time. So it's like I'm that. If anything, my one worry going forward, because they do again, it's obvious part 1 and part 2. This cast and these kids were so good in this film.
The adults might not live up to it.
I don't know how the adults can I don't know how the adults live up to it. I really honestly don't. I don't see how it part 2. I mean, I think obviously Bill Skarsgård is gonna be fine. I don't know. Like, you now have to cast adults to be able to play the older version of these kids, and good luck, because that's going to be the hard part. Because again, it would be like, everybody loves the Stranger Things kids. It's like going through and having to, watch them do Stranger Things as adults. Will it work? I don't know.
That's not, that's not even my worry. My worry is, how are they going to do Pennywise fucking with these adults in modern times? So in the film, they doing it with the adults in the 90s. They didn't have shit like cell phones and Facebook and Skype. So my question is, how are they going to use modern technology and Pennywise together to fuck with these adults? And that's what I can't wait to see. Like, if they've got to do something with that shit.
Oh man, you get Pennywise coming through your phone?
Yeah. They've got to have Pennywise Skype calling people and making fun of terrible other horror films that are about Skype calling people. Like that. I feel like if they do that would be perfect. And the amount of marketing and advertising they've been doing for this film has been so good. Like, to the point where they're tying balloons around certain towns.
So are they doing that, or other people, random people, just doing that?
That's the thing. I think marketing teams are doing it, and I think random other people are doing it. Like, little white kids are walking around in yellow slickers. McDonald's has there's a faux It commercial thing on Facebook right now that supposedly is a McDonald's commercial and it's Ronald McDonald as Pennywise. And it is just as dark as the trailer for it is. Like a kid gets sawed in the trailer for this faux it McDonald's shit.
Are you serious?
The posters it's on our Facebook page, so you got to see it. It's hilarious. It's so hilarious. Like he dabs, like Pennywise dabs in this commercial.
Oh, come on.
With during the little slideshow shit. Like it's really fucking bad, but it's really good. They had people who were commissioning artists to develop new posters for this, and like Gallery 1988 had some of the most amazing, it inspired posters and artwork I've fucking seen. Warner Brothers did so much.
Well, I'm that's right. This is Warner Brothers, because we did see the trailer for the next Blade Runner and Justice League in this. So no, honestly, you know why they're doing that so much, yo? Because they need hits. Like Warner Brothers Pictures actually needs hits, and they need especially something outside of superhero films. So this is a big deal for them, and honestly, this is one of the best films this year I've seen, and it's also one of the best horror films in a long time. Like, to me, and I still consider this a horror film, even though it is a horror film, but it's more
to be a complete film. Like it's so much more than a horror film.
And it is, and it is, and I think. But my point is, I think just like with Cabin in the Woods, made people have to go back and be like, listen, if you're gonna do a horror film, that film kind of calls out some of the tropes. You got to be able to be self-aware of those, and you need to adjust. And films that have, we're fine with. Films that don't, we're kind of like, I don't know. It is going to make people, when you come out to a horror film, we're going to expect complete films. Like you're not going to be able to get away with some of the cheap stuff you've done before, because it is like, it's such a good film, and it goes beyond just being a horror film. It's so much more than that. It's just an overall, like you said, good film. And yeah, man, you got to go see this shit. I love this film. I fucking, at the end, or like, what did you like? Tara was like, what did you think? And I just was still in my feelings because I was just so happy that it was good. Mm-hmm. I just wanted it to be good. I didn't want them to do everything I wanted them to do. That's not what I wanted. I wanted them to make a good It film, because at the end of the day, Stephen King was really, really high on acid when he wrote this book. And you can't get into some of the intricacies that somehow tie the world of It to like the world of Dark Tower and shit. Like, you just can't get into all of that. But what you can get into is the idea of this haunting clown that won't leave these kids alone, even into adulthood, to the point where they have to band together. And togetherness is the only thing that can kill this shit. So, lowercase sh, capital IT. Like, that's all I wanted. And I think this film went above and beyond to deliver something that will have so much rewatchability. Oh, absolutely.
It's just a good fucking movie. It is just a good fucking horror film. And goddamn, man, so much Pennywise. There's just so much Pennywise in this movie. I don't like, if you don't like this movie, then you just got to admit you don't like it. You just like, there's no way you can be a fan of it and not like this movie.
You can't be a fan. No, you can't be a film. You can't be a fan of films. You can't be a fan of horror films and say you don't like it. No, that's bullshit. I'm sorry. After seeing people defend a ghost story, and I get people trying to say that Ghost Story is not a horror film. Fuck it, whatever. As a film, that's a shitty fucking film. It is a completely, like, it is devoid of any kind of reward that you should get when you watch a goddamn film. If you have an idea, if you come on your goddamn mouth to say that a Ghost Story is a good film, but you don't like it, I'm going to come down, find you, and slap the fucking taste out of your goddamn mouth, because you're a goddamn liar. Fuck you. Sorry.
Yeah, no. If you liked Ghost Story, or you liked It Comes at Night, then if you don't like it, then you can just die in your sleep. That's the most peaceful way to go. I don't understand anybody who doesn't like this. I mean, as far as ratings go for me, could they have done this film better? Sure. Sky's the limit, motherfucker. But given what we have, for me, this is a fucking 10 out of 10. Like this is just good. It is just so goddamn good. And I don't understand how you don't want to go see it again just for the visuals of Pennywise and just the dark air of it all.
Yeah.
My God, there's a scene where he comes out of fucking fridge, and it is
that scene is
so
the
horrifying.
way they do that scene is just so great, and you're just like, yeah, this is not good.
There are these scenes. There are these scenes in this movie that look so good that even film. The kids don't run away because they can't turn away from looking at how well Pennywise does what Pennywise does.
Yeah.
You know he's coming to kill you, and yet you stand there and you look at him completely go full Pennywise because it is just a fucking sight, man.
Who did your makeup and make it look so good? Like I just can't turn away from it.
It's just like I see you about to chew on my face, but I just can't turn away because the way you did that shit with your arm and the way you pop locked into evil, that shit was amazing, nigga. How did you do that?
Yeah, it's just
yeah. I don't like. Shout out to the kids that they cast. That was a perfect casting. Shout out to the director of photography for the way they shot this film and the cinematography crew. Shout out to the fucking music. I mean,
everything,
Just and shout out to Bill Skarsgård and the whole Skarsgård clan, even though his brother did that racist ass
Tarzan
film.
Yeah,
shout out to Bill because that was a perfect fucking casting. Like seeing him in the makeup posters in the promo way back months ago, I never saw how they could fuck this up. And when they finally released the trailer, that first preview trailer they did, it was pretty much sold at that point. It was just like, how can this be bad when all of the stuff we've seen so far is so good?
And that's what they've been doing. The teaser for this have been so good, and that's all they've been. You have not seen anything yet. They've been saving some of the best scares for the film. Like, trust me, you're gonna run out and see this, guys. Run out and see this. So,
and they didn't even have multiple trailers for this like that. I think they had like 2.
Yeah, they really
just 2 trailers.
Yep, that's it. They just kept.
That's how you do it. You don't need to do 7 trailers for this film and spoil shit and change around scenes in the trailer and call it a new trailer when it's the same trailer in reverse and shit.
And just
it's the whole trailer on some. You gotta slap down, flip it, and reverse it or whatever like that.
Nope, don't do it. So
flip it and reverse it. Now I don't need that trailer. I don't need to drop down, flip it, and reverse it trailer. Like I just need a good trailer that every time I see it. Or I see a TV ad where part of it is in it, I'm just like, so good.
Yep. So, yeah, folks, there you guys have it. That's the review for it. Myself and Shane are gonna go see it this weekend, so we'll probably do a Scarestalgia / spoiler review for it when we come back from that this weekend, hopefully. And don't forget, we got New York Comic Con coming up soon. Phenom and I will be going there, so now's the perfect time. Sign up for our Patreon account. It is up right now. It's MTR Network. Just search for that on patreon.com and sign up. You can even sign up for just $1. Give us $1 a month. That adds up. We get enough people to do that. That's going to be great. As we get more people in there, once we get enough, we'll start hopefully probably won't start. I was going to start now because we're technically set up for it, but I'm going to wait and probably until after we get back from New York Comic Con. We'll start doing our live shows. So you got some time, sign up on the Patreon account if you want to get live access. If you've never been an MTR Premium account member, it's great. One of the rewards is just for people that don't have any account whatsoever. If you are an MTR Premium account member and you want to start watching our live streaming shows, there's a reward level for you as well. So, sign up and, listen to us. Movie trailer reviews on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, or just go to the site. Listen to us right there on mtrnetworks.net. So thank you guys very much for listening.
Hey, hold on. I got a question.
Yeah.
So there's a trailer that I just saw, and I actually didn't know about this film, but they're really pushing this trailer hard on television for some reason this week, but they haven't been for the last couple of weeks. And I think it actually came out this week or comes out tomorrow, Friday.
What is that?
And it's called Mother.
I don't give a shit about
Have you seen the trailer for this?
Nope.
So it is what is old girls from Hunger Games?
Jennifer Lawrence.
It's Jennifer Lawrence, and it's the dude who played the villain in Skyfall, and it's somebody else who I can't think of. Like I'm trying to look it up right now to get the name of it, but so far, like, oh, it's Javier Bardem.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check the review. Yeah,
The shelf.
I haven't
Supposedly
seen.
it is
Well, it's Darren.
really good. Like,
It's Darren on.
and they're pushing.
It's Darren Aronofsky. So it comes out the 15th. I'll see if we have a screener for it. The official
Okay, I was
release
about to say because they keep showing trailers like it comes out
Yeah.
this. It was like this in theaters this week. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'll check to see if we get a screener for it, and we'll check that out. But got to run because we got. Oh, that reminds me, we got 2 other shows coming out soon. We got a Super Tuesday recap on Secret Empire, which I'm running off of this show to go do right now, and then we're gonna have our Inhumans character corner coming out as well. So join us there. But maybe we'll get us. I know next week we have American Assassin. I'll see if we have this Mother movie as well for screeners, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys very much for listening, folks. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.